You're gonna have to scoot in like closer to the corner.
I'm
Here.
gonna
And then you drop the fucking camera. All right. More to that away.
Okay. Well, I.
No, yeah, the other way.
Keep going. Keep going.
He's gonna be right here. No, that's too much. Now you're way out of frame.
Yeah, right. Right there.
No, a little bit more. A little bit more. There.
Should I point it down a little, or is that good?
That's good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because the mic, you can see the mic.
Yeah.
And you write some notes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to bother crossing that way. I'm going to go that way.
Oh, right here?
You missed out last time. Saved one just for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Abel.
Yes, sir.
Got one of those.
Hell yeah.
Just for you.
Thank you.
Ow. My patella.
Ow, my freaking ears.
I tried to.
Which one are you, idiot? Rod or Todd?
I'm right.
I tried bringing a beer from Honolulu. They made me chug it.
Oh.
Yeah. Was it in your carry-on or in your check bag?
Check bag.
They made you chug it?
Yeah. I had to get scanned through an agriculture thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
That's
fuck.
right.
Damn, that's
so literally myself, my dad, and Blanca, we chugged 3 beers.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
Wow.
That's weird because normally it's only through
international. Yeah.
International where they do the agriculture scan. I remember that when I came back from Amsterdam, there was a long ass line of people. I was like, what the fuck is Amsterdam popular for? That people are waiting in line for agricultural shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Hawaii is the pineapples and the cocoa seeds.
There you go.
I guess anything that's made from that.
Yeah.
And that beer kind of had that.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually pretty good beer.
Okay. We's live, baby.
All right.
I feel like I need to lower that a little.
Well, if you think so.
Yeah. Let me fuck it up real quick before we actually start talking.
All right.
Knock it down.
Copy link.
Dude, what the hell's going on with these X-Men episodes?
Bro.
Okay, so I
really...
did not watch this last episode. I'm planning to watch it.
Oh, man.
However, I was spoiled on what happened.
Okay.
They're really getting us on the feels on that. I was like, oh, shit.
Bro, it's been something else, man. It's been something else.
But I really love the animation. Oh, man.
That's about as good as it's going to get.
Hector's HWR and Abel are live.
Let me go airplane mode. And then let me mute. That's already muted right there.
We need to change our fucking picture, man. Pissed off Undertaker needs to go.
I'll put pissed off Drew.
Yeah.
Put Drew with the phone.
Yeah. All right, posts. Let me put it on our regular socials.
This is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually going to be pretty easy because it's a review show, not a preview show. So we can just shoot a lot of this off the hip.
Damn it.
just like my vows. She's like, when we're doing the ceremony, she's like, the priest is like, do you have anything to say? I'm like, what? I just did like three lines kind of thing.
She's got my kid now, so I'm stuck for life.
No, and she was like, well, I got something to say. She takes out her phone, and I'm like, that's some bullshit. I'm like, you always know me. I always shoot from the hip. You wrote everything down.
Hell no. If she's going to be shooting from the hip on my wedding day, I'm going to be dodging it like the Matrix. Like, I've been here before.
Oh, man.
All right, there we go. I got it shared. Let's get the live chat going.
I think I was the last one to join the glasses game.
Oh, nice!
Yeah,
well, you're the youngest one of the group.
Dang.
You're still a little pup.
Yeah,
Little pup.
Ready when you are.
I'm ready. You ready, Hector?
Yeah, ready.
All right, cool. Well
Yeah.
then, live from HWR HQ is the 442nd edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Chris.
This is Hector.
Yeah!
And that was my late one right there. Yeah. What's up,
Congrats,
guys?
y'all. WrestleMania fucking 40.
Wait. What are you drinking?
This is Hella Pills from New Magnolia Brewing.
All right. And you're finally getting caught up over here on the Broken Skull 316 IPA, right?
Yeah.
Look at there. All thanks to Chris.
Arigato
Yes,
gozaimasu.
I got my Liquid Death.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Cheers. 40 years of WrestleMania. Fuck, I'm old.
Yeah.
We're all
I'm the same age as WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah?
I'm 40.
How old is this little pup?
35.
Dang! I
Damn.
think Scott's got you beat by 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Uh,
But oh my god, guys, it was WrestleMania weekend, the week after WrestleMania, the WrestleMania 2 weeks. I don't know, the WrestleMania fortnight, if you will.
There you go.
But yeah, WrestleMania came and went. We got a lot of shit to talk about.
It came all over us.
Yeah, it did. So let me ask, what do you guys want to talk about?
I'm going to make this short and sweet. Cody versus Roman Night 2 should be WWE's first entry ballot for our match of the year. Does anyone disagree?
Boo up.
yep.
Dunzo.
Thumbs up, all three of us. If Arnold is in the live chat, I didn't even bring in the live chat. If you're watching us live, thank you so much. Make sure you log into your YouTube account. That way you can chat along with us and help us make decisions like this decision that we're making right now. I see somebody's in the live chat and I don't know who it is. Maybe it's just me. It just says number 1. I don't know. But if you're not watching us live, that's okay. You can still interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio, or just drop a comment down below. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. That way you know when we go live. Sometimes our scheduling can be inconsistent, but whatever. But yes, I totally agree. This is match of the year candidate for the WWE side of things. I was very sports entertained. I was very satisfied with the actual wrestling of the match too, leading into the shenanigans. And I know sometimes we might have another co-host that doesn't like shenanigans when it happens, and he tends to disqualify matches for match of the week and match of the year if there's like too much interference. But I think this
We
was
found
about
out the last episode is carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, that's
why.
Yeah. No, I think this particular iteration of shenanigans was needed.
Yes.
It was needed for the story. It was very central to the story of like I said last week. It's going to be Infinity War setting up Endgame. Night 1's going to set up Night 2, and that's exactly what happened. You had the big loss of the Faces on Night 1, and then Night 2, that's when they all, won.
Redemption.
The redemption. It was great. It was very poetic storytelling, and there was a lot of details in there.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely down with calling this a match of the year candidate.
Hector, the bell rings. Cody's holding up the belt. What'd you think of the match?
It did what it needed to do. It gave us the wrestling aspect. It gave us the callbacks, specifically when people started to come in. It put everything into place and actually finished the story. But it wasn't just one story that finished. It was a culmination of all of them.
Yeah.
For me, just that ending part, the callback of Roman hitting Seth with the chair with the Shield outfit. That, and if you go back on promo, Seth did say, "I created this guy." That was Roman's final thing of like, you know what, screw you. I always wanted to do this, but that was his downfall on it. But match wise, perfect. The fact that they use each other's moves on each other.
Yeah.
And Roman is like, I just want to play with him. You know, it's a dumb move. He's never beat anybody. Yeah. He's never beat anybody with it.
The shit talking, it was good, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the main focus of Roman's overall character throughout these past years of you hear what he's saying. You know?
Dude, when he grabbed the table and slid it back under the ring, he's like, nah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Dude. Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
Man. I guess it helped that knowing we were going to get bloodline rules, that it was going to be an overbooked mess. And I say that in a positive light, as opposed to, oh man, this is what happens every match. No, we know this is going to happen. So Cody has time, worst case scenario. You know, as a babyface, you assume you try your best to win every match you have. But worst case scenario, if you were to lose a match, which means that your title match is going to be all the stipulations against you, you try to do what you can to use those stipulations to benefit you. Mm-hmm. So having Jay counter Jimmy, having John Cena come back and counter Solo, which both of those were storyline driven. I wouldn't say this as a negative, but if there was a nit that I would have to pick, stories aside, behind the scenes, if you couldn't pay Austin enough money, I understand. But I don't remember the long-standing rivalry of The Undertaker and The Rock. In hindsight, after the fact, there was a meme or something posted online about Undertaker's been feuding with the family for decades.
Right.
And it had a picture of him versus Yokozuna. It had a picture of him versus Rikishi. It had a picture of him versus Roman because Roman took him out. Yeah. And then now him with The Rock face-to-face at WrestleMania. So I can let that go. Again, we say it on the show before. Give me 30 seconds. Give me a backstory. Tie this loose end for me, and I will swallow it, and I'll let it go. Yeah. And seeing that, I let that go.
Okay.
And I think a lot of fans, I think it played to the fans because I think enough of the people there in WrestleMania weekend are fans like us that are familiar with 3D chess, not just whatever we have on the board. Yeah. So most of us were expecting Austin. So the fact that it was The Undertaker, we're like, what the fuck? You could hear it wasn't the typical wow pop. It was the pop because we weren't expecting the old man. We were expecting the bald one. Yeah. And so when Undertaker,
they're kind of both old men.
And so Undertaker, Undertaker putting The Rock out, I was like, wow, that was interesting. Yeah. That kept me guessing. Yeah.
And I mean, the way that he did it too, the very theatrical, lights go off, lights come down, and then The Rock is just gone. Yeah. Like, I thought that was cool too. I was like, oh, did he kill The Rock? Yeah. So I was kind of surprised to see The Rock on Monday. Yeah. But if I want to kind of stick to more of the theatrical side of things, I actually need to fast forward to Friday. So Friday, last night, SmackDown, there was a line or an angle that Paul Heyman was going down talking about the match that I thought was great subtext that not a lot of people were talking about, which was Cody was prepared. Mm-hmm. Cody at 39 wasn't prepared for my guy Solo. Cody was prepared this time. That's why it's on us. It's on us because he knew that we were going to bring the whole family, and he had answers for the family. Okay, cool. That's the 30 seconds on that side that I needed. Mm-hmm. That just made it be like, instead of, oh, well, he cheated and he shouldn't be the... No, it was like, no, it was literally bloodline rules. So it kind of goes back to this thing of, what is it really? You know, are we talking about the bloodline being this mafia boss, and are we talking about the laws of the land and the laws that the cops actually abide by? Or are we talking about the laws of the actual gang and the underworld and, you know, their rules and laws? Yeah, by the rules and laws of the cops and Jack Tunney and all this and that. Yeah, it would have been, against the rules for all these people to be. But no. That's not what Heyman was concerned with. Mm-hmm. Heyman wasn't concerned with, that he cheated to win. No, he was concerned with, okay, you out-cheated us cheating, but that's part of our culture. That's part of what we do as, you know, a criminal organization. I mean, you see kind of where I'm drawing the parallel here. I mean, obviously they're not a criminal organization, but that's kind of how this storyline plays out. You have like the guy that's in charge being the mafia boss who has his wise man, his advisor, and then he has his enforcer, and he has his other little, gang members and stuff. Like, that's exactly what this is, and it's playing out really well. And now I really, really, really like this aftermath. The aftermath is Well, now that the actual leader is gone, the second in command is trying to take over. But is the second in command really taking over? Is it really?
So
Solo?
let's
Calling the shot? Is Solo the tribal chief?
Let's rewind.
Or is it The Rock?
Let's rewind this
All
a
right,
little
go
bit
ahead.
because that same episode.
What's up, Arnold? In the live chat, he says, yes, he's not the final boss.
The same episode, in the beginning of the episode, when they're walking backstage and they're expecting to go to their huge ass locker room, it's Cody's locker room now. And everybody's getting a little upset about it. Paul's like, hey, that's the way it is now. The way we're going to get it back is by bringing the title back home. So this story with the title isn't over yet. Mm-hmm. And if we're taking a lot of stuff from the past into consideration, Jimmy tried this before. While Roman was gone, Jimmy was trying to swing his dick around, and he didn't really get much done. Not to mention, Solo was actually the one still getting things done while Roman was gone. Right. And it's been more than one occasion where Roman's beaten, and Solo has to be the one to like straighten him up or set him right or tell him what he needs to hear so that he can finish the job.
Doing a callback to the match, that was they emphasized that when Solo came in. Mm-hmm. He kept telling him, finish the job, finish the story, beat him, get him into that motivation. But at the same time, if you do a callback like way before, Roman acknowledged Solo as the next person. So that's he's just basically taking that position already.
And that really begs the question: what the hell is happening with The Rock? Because The Rock was the one that came out on Monday that had that really awkward, creepy promo, like. That it was just strange, right? Yeah. Like, where was he actually going with it? I don't know. I mean, maybe in like 3-4 weeks, maybe 2-3 months time, it'll completely make sense. But that promo did not make that much sense when he was like, "Hey, let me touch it, let me hold it." What? Okay, like, hey.
But here, that's a callback also.
That's a callback too, because
Cody, when he had the mustache and The Rock was the people's champ, when he came back and won the title.
When he was unveiling that new title.
Yeah.
He came out. I remember seeing the video, right?
Yeah. Did the same thing.
And he's like, I want to see the title of the new generation or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they did the callback. Somebody made the edit and put them together. Them together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, still, where does that lead the future with The Rock? Because The Rock kind of left almost understated menacingly. Like, I'm coming back for you.
I guess consider The Rock as like the kingpin.
Okay.
Of the whole.
I think right now it's easy to not think about The Rock because all the focus right now is on Solo.
Well, as of last night, but between Monday and Friday, it wasn't.
Because The Rock ain't going to be able to come back for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but it's still, you can still keep him in the back of your head because in that same promo where Solo took the phone out of Paul's hands.
Yeah.
Who is Solo reporting to? Is he reporting to Roman or is he reporting to The Rock?
Or is he reporting to himself? Because Heyman was the one who's like, call Roman Reigns. And he's like, no, you're not. Right? You're not calling Roman. So was that Roman isn't in charge anymore? Or was that you don't speak for Roman? I'm his blood. I speak for Roman.
Yeah.
Right? And then, okay, well, if it's Roman's not in charge anymore, is it I Solo am in charge, or is The Rock in charge? So there's so many questions, and I love what Heyman did. Heyman said the fucking questions that I was saying on my couch.
It did something else too, because they even showed a clip of it afterwards on Facebook of them walking back from the curtain, behind the curtain. And I can't believe I can't remember the last time this happened, but for a split second, I felt sympathy for fucking Paul Heyman.
Oh, his acting in that whole thing was perfect. Arnold in the live chat says, Tama said, per the tribal chief or some shit like that in the locker room segment. You're right. But who's the tribal chief? Are we talking about Roman? Are we talking about The Rock? Or are we talking about Solo, assuming he's the tribal chief?
Yeah, because last weekend, The Rock did something that Roman couldn't.
Yeah.
And he pinned Cody.
And in real life, not in WWE storyline, but in real life, fucking The Rock is a chief. According to
high chief.
Yeah, he's a high chief. He is in the family. He's a high chief. They actually gave him that fucking title.
Yeah.
So who's the fucking tribal chief? Who's the one giving the orders? Right.
So let's look at the other coin. The bloodline story is going to be just fine. What about Cody? Cody, now it's been over 2 years that we've actually had a face with the world title, with the WWE title.
Well, no, Seth was a face with the WWE title.
Yeah, that's secondary. That belt was made because.
Well, you said with the world or WWE. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right.
What's Cody's story now? What's the second volume in the arc of Cody since this first story's been finished?
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Cody is going to have a string of bangers that are crowd pleaser, babyface. I'm winning, but I'm also giving title shots to people that I think are deserving and that the people think are deserving, and it's just going to be banger after banger after banger for a little while.
So he's basically going to do the TNT title run on WWE with the main title.
Sure. Yeah. Whether it's open challenge shit or whether it's like deserving people somehow get their way into being number one contender, right? But I think that's what it's going to be. Just like have them have a little victory lap for 6 months or so. And then whenever The Rock comes back, maybe SummerSlam or whatever.
That's less than 6 months. That's 3.
Okay, well, Survivor Series, whatever. Okay, I don't know, whatever. You know, whenever The Rock is deciding to show up, whenever that may be, that's when we hit unpause on the final boss fight.
I'm just thinking like story wise, who had like still lingering stories against
Riddle is the high chief. God damn it! Thank you, Arnold.
Well, technically, he's second generation. RVD is still a high chief until his fire burns out.
Right. But this fire burns.
Speaking of this,
yes. Hey, well, hold on. We accidentally interrupted Hector. Finish your thought, Hector. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, like I really don't know what lingering stories are still left for Cody.
So
the only one that I remember was Nakamura, but Nakamura is like.
So the
Nakamura is like 1 in 28.
So the big story that's on the table right now is Gunther, because they still have the callbacks from the Royal Rumbles. But for now, on Abel's point about having bangers, but having some kind of meaning towards them, if we're going to fast forward a little bit, I definitely have Styles beating LA Knight, and we have 2 former leaders of the Bullet Club. And that story, that's enough story to get you, because like Steve Austin first title win, who'd he feud with? Mick Foley, 3 straight pay-per-views in a row. By the third one, you're already tired. Daniel Bryan, he finally made it to WrestleMania 30. Who was his big feud? Kane, twice. This time you're actually having a champion that people want, and you're giving him matches with people that could be a credible threat to take it from him. Okay. Like he's gonna fight AJ, a guy that looks like he's eating AJ because he's that big. But you have the backstory to where 60-second, 90-second backlog video promo. Oh, you'll even hook the casual with, oh, this is why they're fighting.
Oh my God.
And even after that, guess what? If Priest still has the belt on Raw, then maybe Finn, another guy, Finn and Cody. And then we do that for a little bit because we got the draft coming up. And you have plenty of things for wrestling fans of everything to cling on, and then you can dumb it down for the casual people that just see WWE in its own universe, for them to also like, because Styles is still a name, because of Judgment Day and their relevancy by proxy, Balor is still valid, and then you can bring in guys like Gunther coming back after a 6-week hiatus, like, okay, Intercontinental title, I had this reign, how long can my reign be with the world title? And then you build up to
doing the callback to Mania, because one of the other important things about this past WrestleMania was the beginning of the Paul Levesque era.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
The fact that they did promo videos before the match to give you a callback of the person you're seeing, the story that's building up, and this is the culmination of the match.
Not just that, Night 1, I was in the nosebleeds. The Bianca Belair promo before the 6-woman tag had that classic 80s, because it was behind a green screen and it had her logo behind it, and she's just rapping, and you see scenes spliced in between. Yeah, that was really well done.
I mean, you bring up that point about the Triple H era, and then you brought up some history of past faces winning titles. those past faces, those examples you brought up was during the Vince era.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back? Help me with the history here. Can we go back to NXT? What babyface title reigns? What did they look like after babyfaces won the title? Because that's where Triple H was in charge. What did Triple H do in NXT? Help me with this.
Man.
Who was chasing titles as a babyface for a while? Sammy, right?
Sammy, but it was against no. It was Sammy, but it was against Neville, and Neville was a face because Neville had just taken it off of Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
So Neville was a face, then Sammy was a face. Kevin Owens took it from Sammy.
And then Nakamura took it away from Kevin Owens in Japan, I believe.
Yeah.
And then after...
No, Balor took it from Owens.
Yeah.
Finn Balor took it from Owens. And then after that, Finn Balor lost it to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe lost it to Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura lost it to Bobby Roode. And then Bobby Roode lost it to Gargano, I think.
No.
And then Aleister Black fit in somewhere in there. And then Ciampa.
That was
were any of those babyface runs?
Aleister Black was one, but that was after the feud he had with Velveteen Dream.
And Aleister, you can't consider him a babyface. Like the Undertaker, it's not a face or a heel. He's an enigma. He's a character. He's something that you can't really classify because depending on what he does, you can see it.
So have we not had any good 100% babyface NXT champion runs to give us
Gargano versus either Cole, and then after that, Gargano defending against Ciampa.
And then Gargano lost, so he had a short reign.
Yeah.
So,
but it's hard to tell because NXT only had those 4 shows a year. So all the big things happen basically every other show. So they would still have like
the only person you could probably consider as a babyface that had a good run was Asuka.
Okay,
And
so what was Asuka?
But she beat Bayley.
She beat
another
everybody.
babyface.
She beat everybody.
She got the good.
Well, regardless of who she beat, what did that babyface world title run look like under Triple H's administration in NXT?
We were always high on Black and Gold NXT on this show.
Right.
Always.
Right.
So regardless of whether it was a heel or a babyface, I think the booking was what we expected on the main roster, which was why we were hoping Triple H would get a chance without Vince McMahon or
okay. Well, okay. Here's why I keep belaboring this question, because and it goes back to your question, what's next for Cody? Because I remember seeing somewhere online people talk about, okay, now that the babyfaces won, typically babyfaces don't have good runs after they win the title. Mm-hmm. And Cody has been so good at chasing, and Steve Austin was good at chasing, and so many other babyfaces were good at chasing, but then once they won the title, their steam kind of petered out. Mm-hmm. Is that what's going to happen here with Cody? Because we spent the first 15 minutes talking about, oh my God, what's going to happen with the bloodline? Yeah. Right? We're not like, oh my God, what's going to happen with Cody? We're like, oh, good, Cody won. Well, yay.
Here's the other factor of that. We have a draft coming up.
Yeah.
So there's different players that's going to be on the table for him.
Their storyline, there's still a lot of options because if you do the AJ stuff, that's cool. And then by proxy, if you want to get Finn to step up at bat, that's cool. You still have like Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Sami Zayn won the title, and Gable's like, hey, I asked for something in return. Seth hasn't cashed that favor in yet. So we still haven't had Seth versus Cody.
Yeah, he did him a huge ass favor.
He did him a huge ass favor. And that's before you consider what happens with the draft, because you still have unfinished business from this past Rumble with Cody and CM Punk. Because they were the last two in the Rumble. Yeah, because Punk was the last one in the Rumble.
But when it comes to Punk, it's a better story with Drew and him.
And that's assuming Drew has extended his contract. They gave Drew the title, even though it's just for one night. They're going to have a pay-per-view in his homeland in Scotland. And if that doesn't get him to sign on the dotted line, which I would think he'd be an absolute fool, then where does all that Punk Drew stuff is for naught.
Yeah. Arnold in the live chat answered my question. He said Balor defended it as a face for like a year, and they were all bangers.
Yeah.
There you go.
He did all the costumes and everything for all the takeovers as champ. Yeah, until he finally lost it to Joe.
Was it in Europe where he dressed as Jack the Ripper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chainsaw. Yeah.
Thank you, Arnold.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward. I'm there's a lot more meat in the bloodline bone. Apparently they finally signed Jacob Fatu. Yeah.
Bangers and smash. Damn it, Randy.
Yeah. All right. So with the bloodline and the American Nightmare stuff out of the way, secondary. What was your second highlight of the WrestleMania weekend?
Oh, jeez.
Night 1 and night 2 only.
God, Bailey.
Yeah,
I thought Bailey's match was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the beginning, middle, end, finish. I thought it was great. Yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm going with Bailey. Bailey.
She needs a new finish.
Okay,
that's all I'll say.
Well, the funny thing about that, right? I don't know if it's because I wasn't paying enough attention over the last, I don't know, year or so for WWE, but when she did the move that she did, I went into our chat and I was like, hey, what's this new finisher that Bailey is doing? And
she started during COVID era, so a lot of people are oblivious to it.
Yeah, you and Arnold had to both tell me that wasn't a new finish. That was something that she's been doing. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. How did I miss that she's been doing a new finish? But I guess she, yeah.
Embrace the elbow drop. Do the Macho Man pointing and have that as your finish.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was her
whatever
finish.
That ding dong hello is should be the setup to the elbow. Yeah, and that should be the
I think I let that match pass. It might have been one of those break matches for me.
It was solid.
Yeah,
but this isn't a slight. Everyone was there to see Cody. There was a lot of that stuff on that pay-per-view both nights where night 1 you were there to see The Rock. Night 2 you were there to see Cody finish the story. So the rest of the stuff, as much as we were looking forward to it on our pre-show 2 weeks ago, a lot of the stuff was, it was all right. What's next? Hey, that was pretty good. What's next? You know?
Mm-hmm.
For me, the one that caught my attention was the Seth McIntyre match.
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning spot of McIntyre just doing the Claymore right there.
Right from the beginning.
Like, oh, shit.
Dude, I seriously thought we were going to have Sheamus and Sheamus and D-Bry all over again.
And after Seth's 45-minute match the night before, I would have completely bought it.
It would have been justified.
I would have completely bought it.
Yeah.
This is how much you didn't focus on me that I beat you faster than fucking the world record.
Yep.
Because the world record, not world record, but like the record Sheamus, right?
Yeah, Sheamus
he
and
beat, he beat Backlund and Nash, right? That the old record was Backlund and Nash.
Yeah, that was like,
and then Sheamus beat it.
Yeah.
I think it was 9 seconds?
Something like that.
But yeah, that one caught my attention, and then the aftermath of it.
The priest cash.
I'm like, wait. They kept telling you the same way you told Seth, focus on our match instead of the bloodline. He made the same mistake of focusing on Punk, and it cost him.
Well, yeah, and then also, like, that was the theme of WrestleMania, because later on in the night, the whole thing that cost Roman the title was he wasn't focused on Cody, he was focused on Seth. That was perfect storytelling just for the entire theme of the night, this is crazy that we're talking about themes in pro wrestling, right? I feel like I'm fucking in high school, so English class all over again.
Besides what everyone's mentioned so far.
Literary elements. But yeah, no, the priest cash-in was fucking great. Like, that was a really good way to actually kick off the night. That was like a surprise that wasn't a surprise, but it was something that we wanted to see that was still very cool and welcomed to see.
Having it that earlier wasn't going to drain the crowd because the main event was going to top everything. Yeah. Truth's moment was a highlight for me.
Nash still holds the record. His was like 8 seconds. But as far as Mania, yeah, it's Sheamus. Okay, thank you, Arnold.
Because the bell had rang while Brian's kissing AJ, right? Is that why?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So it's still Nash.
He was making out. Ding, ding, ding. Turn around. Boom. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. R-Truth getting his moment was fucking funny.
Yeah.
The hot tag in a six-pack ladder match. So fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg turning an average garbage match into something entertaining.
I was not able to see that match, man. Literally, like, I heard as soon as he said something about a picnic table and Yogi Bear shit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what?
I literally grabbed my remote, muted that shit.
Oh no! No!
I literally was like, I can't stand it.
Why are you hating?
Watch it back, buddy.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great.
Oh man.
Yeah. There's
between Snoop Dogg and Alex Jones as ref, that shit was good.
Yeah.
What about the other story that was finished? Gunther losing at 666 days.
The thing that made me laugh about that was social media, because that got flagged as they put it under Botchamania with that
the brainbuster from the top turnbuckle, even though Generico had been doing it for years.
Yeah. So it's funny because X corrected it, fact checked it. He's like, no, this is a move that has been done before and it's perfectly done. So it's not a botch.
Yeah. Not a botch.
Started laughing. I was like,
not a botch.
You got a wrestling guy on X.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I love seeing that brainbuster, man. That was so cool. I like the match itself. That was a highlight for me too.
I like the lead up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Where they followed him, saying, getting the hugs from
Kevin Owens.
Oh, the KO one got me.
Yeah.
Which made me feel a little bad when the second night KO couldn't pull it out.
Yeah, because he waited for him. Yeah. He showed him the title, like, your turn.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that was so cool.
I could imagine Triple H doing a callback of, if Owens won, you have Sammy right there doing the same callback as Benoit and Eddie.
Yeah.
Do we have more highlights or lowlights from Mania itself, night 1 or night 2? Because I want to pose a different question. Unless we have more. Okay, my question is this. I saw this chatter a little bit, and it was very easy, knee-jerk, to just completely dismiss it. But I saw this chatter of people actually debating whether or not this could be in the running, WrestleMania 40 could be in the running of best WrestleMania of all time.
It depends, because you have 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you call it night 1 or night 2, you can't really compare it as the best WrestleMania, because I think the one to beat is 17.
Right.
And
or 19, depending who you ask.
Depending who you ask.
19.
But when
your opinion is valid.
When it comes to both of those WrestleManias, it's the card from beginning to end.
And we had this conversation a few years ago that night 1 in Los Angeles was one of the better WrestleManias overall, if we were just containing those in its own little bubble.
Right, and that's the main question with this new era. The last 4 Manias that have been 2 nights. How do we count those? Do we count those as a unit? Night 1, night 2 is together. Well, because we can't even get to the debate of which is the best WrestleMania until we settle this.
If you cut 4 matches off of WrestleMania 40 and make it one whole night, you do have an argument to make.
Yes.
But if we're doing it as separate, that's a lot, bro.
So do you say WrestleMania 40 night 1 is one thing and WrestleMania night 42 or WrestleMania 40 night 2 is the second thing? Like,
even if you join them all together and put all the matches, you cannot say that all the matches are good,
because you're going to have more dead weight if you just combine both nights.
Well, that's where I was going to go, because if we were to say we're going to squeeze it together and say that, WrestleMania 40 period 40 WrestleMania 40 all matches all nights is one Mania. How does that compare to the greats like 30, 19, 20, 17, etc., right? Mm-hmm. How does it compare to those? I would say, in my personal opinion, it would rank somewhere in the top 5, in my opinion. I don't know if it's number 1, but I would need to talk it out and debate with somebody whether or not it'd be even top 3 right now.
I think I would put it top 10, but like lower 10.
Really?
We could visit this.
Didn't you used to do a WrestleMania bracket back in the day?
Thank you, because now we can do a WrestleMania bracket with all 40 Manias and actually have like the play-ins. The 33 through 40 could be play-ins to go into the bracket, and then we can do it again.
Okay,
but would you break those down as
it had to be whole? It had to be whole.
A whole thing.
It had to be whole. Yeah.
All right. So okay. So then that brings me back to the point. If we do count it as whole, my nit to pick with WrestleMania 19 and my nit to pick with WrestleMania 17 were these two. 19, the only thing that was bad the entire night was Booker T lost.
Yeah.
17, the only thing bad the entire night was Stone Cold turning heel. Yeah. That heel turn didn't need to happen. Everything else on that card was good to great, right? The gimmick battle royal was fucking fun at 17. You know, it wasn't great. It was good. You know, the Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio to open 19 was a fucking banger that had no reason to be a banger. Right? Had no reason being that fucking good, but it was great. Right? So, okay. WrestleMania 40, you say, oh, there's 4 matches that could get cut. When I go back and I look at WrestleMania 40, unless I'm forgetting something, I remember enjoying damn near everything, including Snoop Dogg.
That would be.
That's my opinion. I get it. Your opinion. You didn't like Snoop on commentary. I thought it was great. But
I thought it was great
was
too.
there any match?
But that was before. But that before we turned it to the telly on, or before I walked through the turnstile, there were some matches where we're like, we know what we're there for. So in hindsight,
of the matches that were there, are there any that were like, these are bad?
Bad? No. But that's going
Jimmy
back to. But that's
was Jimmy and Jay bad?
Well, now that you mention it, that was bad.
Jimmy and Jay was underwhelming.
Yeah.
It should have been more epic. It should have been more.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Jimmy and Jay, even though we should, because that's really paramount to the Bloodline storyline, right? Especially after what the fuck happened to Jimmy on Friday. You know? So, but yeah, that match fell a little flat. I don't think there was a botch.
The Mexican tag match could have main evented SmackDown. Didn't have to be on WrestleMania.
Okay.
The 6-man hardcore match with Snoop and Alex, that could have been on SmackDown. That didn't have to be on WrestleMania. Not to sound like a complete asshole, 6-woman tag could have main evented SmackDown. Didn't have to be on WrestleMania.
Oh,
true.
Ooh.
When you have 2 brands and 2 sets of belts, and stuff has to get taken off the table, that match would have to have been taken off the table. Because at that point, WrestleMania 19 had 10 matches. WrestleMania 40 had 13.
But does it take down the quality of the Mania itself? That match. Was that match a match that's like, I don't like WrestleMania 40 because of this match?
I could look at it the other way around also.
Okay.
I don't love WrestleMania 40 because of that match.
Okay.
It's there.
Fair. Damn, this will be a really fun debate if we do another bracket.
Okay. Let's couple another card on that train.
Those women,
Cody
but Arnold brings up a good point. Those entrances alone, though, for the women's match.
So let's tack on to the conversation. Steve Austin versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 13. Steve Austin versus The Rock from WrestleMania 17. Undertaker versus HBK, WrestleMania 25. HBK versus Undertaker. HBK versus Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24. Is Cody versus Roman from last weekend in that mix?
Yes. For me, it is.
I don't know.
I mean, I would hate to think that it's just recency
because we don't
bias.
just do whole Mania brackets.
Yeah, I know. We've done matches before. Arnold in the live chat says yes. I say yes.
Let me give you a quick asterisk.
Okay.
You said the only flaw from WrestleMania 19 was that Booker T lost.
Right.
If you're sitting at home and you're watching it, yeah, it sucked. Booker T lost. If you were in the audience and you saw it, yeah, you could see it in the audience. Booker T should have won, but he lost. Mm-hmm. WrestleMania 17, you could look at every single person in the Astrodome and not one of them thought that Stone Cold turned heel. They thought Vince turned face. And that's why 17 is better than 19. Bitch!
All right.
With all due respect, so I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. Arnold says, I said it in the chat. If it's Austin instead of Taker, the match is perfection.
Agreed.
But even without it, it was still epic.
Yeah.
He said, happy tears. Not since WrestleMania 30 had Mania given me that. You know, you talked about it. You rattled off a lot of Manias.
And even Mania 30 had the asterisk of, would the crowd have been just as hot if Lesnar hadn't ended the streak? That crowd could have been hotter if Bryan won, but they were still reeling from.
Was that a mistake, though?
What, Bryan winning? Or
no, the streak. Was that a mistake?
I think the mistake there was which match should have gone first. Because
which match should have opened the show? Because what opened the show was.
I want to watch the world burn. End Mania with Taker losing.
Exactly. That's what we felt when we watched Endgame. You watch all of them fuck up, and we're like, oh shit, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
If they would have ended it that way, everybody would still be traumatized from that shit. Well, we know how to get our feelings crushed.
Yeah. Fucking masochist over here.
Hey, but that would keep you clamoring for next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I would say this Cody versus Roman match would be in the conversation of the top 5. Who knows where it would end up if we did a brand new bracket, especially if we did one adding the last Manias, because even past
you put Firefly Funhouse in there with Cena and Bray. Like how do you even put that in there? How do you even categorize that?
And that was a 2-night one, so you would consider it a Boneyard match.
Yeah, I was about to say that Boneyard. It's weird that the best 2 matches of that Mania weren't even like your typical matches, something like fucking out there. But yeah, well, I'll have to talk to Travis about making us a new bracket, or at least we can make one for the last decade.
Yeah,
you know, because there's
some good matches there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff between like 1 and 8 that you may as well not even put it in the bracket because it doesn't matter.
1 and 10, that stuff gets overshadowed because it doesn't mix well.
Don't include 10 on that.
1 and 9, 1 through 9.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, like, as much as I like Brett versus Piper for the IC title, it's not gonna hold any water compared to like the last 25 years of stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 10 is when you start adding
stuff.
Brett versus Owen.
I was
fucking Shawn and Razor Ladder.
I would still maybe argue WrestleMania 10 could be in my top 5 Manias. Maybe.
And that was a 3-hour show, like 2.5-hour show. So you got a lot more quality than quantity on those, like 8 through 14.
Arnold says, I rewatch the Manias every year. 1 through 9 are yawn fests.
10's when it starts to pick up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know. I do kind of have a special place in my heart for Caesar's Palace. I kind of like that Mania a little bit. The big fuck up at the end of the night for that Mania is Hogan going in after Yoko beats Brett with shenanigans. Like, that was dumb. But other than that, I thought it was a really good Mania.
So, you know how ideally we were thinking about Roman holding the title till he breaks Hogan's record?
Mm-hmm.
I ended up finding out that on that WrestleMania, he ended up breaking one of Hogan's records of being in the main event most times, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So 9. He's at 9 now.
Well, at least that's an achievement there. Yeah. But Story demanded him to drop the title that night. So. Yeah.
Anything positive from WrestleMania that we haven't discussed yet?
That we haven't discussed? Oh, man. Jade. No, I think we kind of already mentioned Jade.
Right call for Rhea to leave with the belt?
Oh, yes. Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
I like the sports aspect that they mentioned that Becky was sick that week. You don't ever hear that stuff on WWE television.
Yeah, she had strep throat.
The presentation of it, like, when they announced Becky, they put Challenger.
Oh,
and they used that 8K camera. The Megalodon.
Man. Yeah. Oh, and my girl, Samantha MVP for both nights. Holy shit, her announcing was spot on. She was so good.
For a buffer to
put her over.
Oh, yeah, even Arnold says in the live chat.
Man. You could hear, like, I actually finished watching WrestleMania Night 2 last night, and just hearing Samantha's voice crack, the emotion was there. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I get it why Michael Buffer said it.
Yeah. She did such a good job.
Dude.
What about the, I have a local thing to put over. In Drew's entrance, his special entrance where all the, people were out there with the swords and shit. Parviz was there. He was in the. He was one of the people holding up the ring. Yeah, Paul Titan.
Nice.
Local Texas independent wrestler making his way out into the rest of the country.
8 years later, he wins the world title, and he should call back to that one entrance.
Fuck yeah! So good on Parviz for being out there.
Pat McAfee doing the Mr. Perfect pencil flip throughout the whole night. He was like. And then you can see his reaction, like every time he got it, he's like,
yeah. Was there anything that we're missing that was like we need to talk about? Do we need to talk about Logan Paul and whoever the fuck that was?
That was a great match.
He still
that was
amazes me on the way he picks up
Yeah.
Everything.
God damn, why is he so good at wrestling? Fuck.
As much as
Did you guys ever watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yes.
When they're both on the surfboard, and he's like, dude, under all the dreck that was on my girlfriend's playlist, there was this one song that sounded like Gothic Neil Diamond. And the other guy goes, that's exactly what I was aiming for. And I was like, you know I'm supposed to fucking hate you because you're fucking my ex-girlfriend, but fuck, you're cool. That's what I feel about Logan Paul. I was like, I know you're a piece of shit, but goddamn, you smell good. You know? God. Hey, I still hate your fucking brother, and he's gonna die by Mike Tyson's hands, thankfully, because I prayed for it. But you're still fucking cool.
My opinion, and I might be wrong or I might be in the minority, but I see him doing the same route that they put in for Kurt Angle.
What?
Initially, we were supposed to hate him. He was a guy that was from the outside coming in, learning the business. He picked it up like that. Kurt Angle.
Okay.
You can't say Logan Paul didn't do the
Bro,
same thing.
give me Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes at Money in the Bank.
Give me that and Saudi.
The Saudi?
Yeah, Saudi. That's a perfect.
You know what, Hector?
He's already had a title shot against Roman, and that was good.
And that was good.
You might be onto something there, Hector. You might be onto something there. I kind of want to take what you're saying and apply it a little bit further and say this, and this is it's gonna hurt me to say because I also think he is full of the assholery, right? I also wouldn't mind if Jake Paul went away permanently after this match with Mike Tyson, and you know what? So that he could avenge his brother, put Logan in there with Tyson and let Tyson do the same thing to Logan. Why not?
You're gonna have Jake talking like Tyson with a lip.
But I know at 40 years old, I am a very wildly different person than what I was when I was 20, 25, etc. There's some shit that I look back on my life. I was like, man, I can't believe I was that person. I can't believe, So maybe, just maybe, the assholery of Logan Paul's previous career, maybe that's going to start to wash away as he learns and matures and becomes a different person. Maybe we could forgive the assholery and the Japanese suicide gardens and the stupid bullshit that he's doing if he just maybe he puts that shit behind him and he's like, you know what, this is something I did in the past. I'm not really proud of it, whatever. I like entertaining people and I've heard you guys and I like being in front of the crowds and I love wrestling and maybe he's going to be a different person. Not yet. I still think he's an asshole. I still think I don't want to cheer for this guy, but God damn it, you're right. He's too fucking cool to hate. But I want to hate him.
Even Negan can start off his own show as a baby face.
Yeah.
There's still hope for Logan Paul.
Yeah. So let's
and
see.
Now that you have, because we had the conversation before, a lot of fans still think the WWE title is sacred, regardless of how many times you blend it with other belts. This made-up world title, I predicted that now that Priest has the belt, he can drop the belt to R-Truth. R-Truth can drop the belt to Logan Paul, and it won't mean squat as far as negative because it's not the title that everyone thinks is all sacrilegious. You can give him a run with a world title and see how he takes it, but I'm threw my hands up in the air. I'm tired of denying him his flowers, even though they should all have thorns on them. Although he still gets some.
Although nobody at our WrestleMania watch party knew who the fuck that was in the Prime bottle and they took off the thing. Yeah, I had no idea who the fuck that was, except Gwen knew.
What? Aaron's daughter?
Aaron's 13, 12-year-old daughter, however old she is, daughter knew. Oh my God, that's of course. This is why he's there. Okay.
Yeah, remember, we are the loud minority. Everything's being catered to Gwen and football fans in Philadelphia.
I'm over here saying, why is Randy barking at him before the RKO?
That was nuts.
I don't know who the hell that guy was.
I got texts from Travis. It's like, hey, they just showed on night one WrestleMania. They're actually doing a sports thing and showing us the weather. Is it really that cold out there? Yeah. And then I sent him a picture of how blue my balls were. God, fuck, it was cold night one. Shit, I went ahead. I was looking at that forecast for 2 weeks, and then they get that nor'easter that hit, and then the earthquake nearby. I'm like, fuck, I might not make it back. But so I prepared as much as I could. Fuck, it was cold.
I noticed that they had heaters on top of the ring.
On top.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't use
Yeah.
the poles
Yeah.
this time. They had them on the
Yeah.
top. Yeah. Damn, night 2 was definitely the better night.
Me, Lucas, and Penny popped for him for the dude.
blue balls?
Yeah. Well, for yes,
Oh,
for the
yeah,
blue
yeah,
balls.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah. No, for the dude in the Prime costume. Which, okay, they've done this twice that somebody was in the Prime bottle.
Yeah.
How many more times are they going to pull off that thing?
I'm waiting to find out who was in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch chip. Let's talk negatives. If we're talking all this smack of Mania 40 could be one of the best manias of all time, give me a negative.
Snoop Dogg for me.
Oh, you didn't give it a chance. You didn't give it enough
On
time.
commentary.
On commentary.
On commentary. Not when he went out there with the girls and saying how many people were in the audience.
Because
Okay.
you expect that from a celebrity to do that spot.
Okay.
But as a commentary, I'm like, okay, I get you throw here and there like little gibberish, but everything that comes from your mouth is gibberish. Is like, okay, no, you made me not want to even listen to commentary on this one. And we kind of gave us the
Don't
the
listen to
hints.
any commentary that I do.
No, they kind of gave me the hint because they're like, oh, this match is sponsored by Gin and Juice.
Yeah.
Dude wipes.
Yeah. And everybody's like,
Oh.
they're like, how many Gin and Juice have you had? And all you hear Snoop Dogg is just giggling. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's drunk.
Or high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say maybe a low light would be dude wipes. I mean,
The advertising in general?
no, the dude wipes. I didn't mind the advertising in general. When they said that they were going to put a Prime bottle in the middle of the ring, I thought it was going to be too garish. But no, the black
Subtle?
outline.
I call it subtle compared
It
to what I've
was.
seen on UFC and
Yeah.
Mexican wrestling and New Japan.
It didn't
I'll
look
call it
that
subtle.
bad.
Yeah, I
It
didn't mind
didn't look as bad. I was like, okay, they're getting more money. They're getting sponsors. All right, do what you got to do. The other sponsors, okay, fine, do what you got to do. But the dude wipes and the American Home Shield were just annoying as fuck. Because the dude wipes, all it said was, dude? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why does it just say dude on the thing? And then the American Home Shield for the entire main event,
It's just white.
Arnold said it in the live chat. Why is there a red triangle in the ring? Like, no, it was the back thing that had the triangle, but the way it was sitting, it looked bad. It just looked terrible. Like, it didn't work. But I did kind of like the fact that there was advertising because
It made it more professional.
it made it more professional. It made
Yeah.
it seem more like sport. It made it seem more like UFC in a way. And it was like, okay, cool. I'm glad you guys are making your money. Right? So, yeah.
Okay, here's a negative. The ending to the wetback match. Like,
God damn it.
the two Philadelphia Eagles players had nothing up to the WrestleMania. They
Yeah.
weren't even sitting at ringside for someone to have insulted them. They just showed up, and I'm gonna embark the Travis Belden quandary.
Yeah.
I'm not from Philly. I don't watch football, and I wasn't there, so I don't really give a
shit.
fuck about these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There was
It
one
wasn't
thing-
even the one fucking Taylor Swift. It was the other one. So why the fuck do I care?
So I'll argue that point
Go for it.
for him, just for that other Kelsey. The story with him is that if you remember the
Super
stuff
Bowl.
that came out after the Super Bowl, the partying, he was wearing the Rey Mysterio mask. Apparently, the story behind that is on their podcast. He said that he found the mask on the floor in Vegas, put it on, partied the whole night like that.
Yeah.
Come to
That's
find
awesome.
out,
Yeah.
come to find out, it
That's
was
how he got
actually-
COVID.
No, come to find out, that's how he actually got the mask from the little kid, and the little kid wanted it back because that's like a superstition kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Keeps
yeah.
winning every time he has that mask.
Mhm.
So social media kicked in. He got the mask
They
back to the
figured out
kid,
who it was. They got him hooked up with the
but
kid.
Rey
Yeah.
Mysterio found that out, and he's
Yeah.
like, "You know what? We're gonna be in Philly this year, WrestleMania. Come over. I got a mask specifically for you."
Yeah.
And
So
that's
okay.
how he tied it in.
Yeah.
On that.
So,
So where was that on Raw or SmackDown?
it was not.
Never.
Thank
It was.
you.
It was
Yeah.
on social
That's
media.
the thing.
It was on social media. Hey, losers! What's up, Nicole? Nicole F. I don't know a Nicole
Who's
F.
that?
I don't know.
I know a Nicole B, but I don't know. No, I'm messing with you. But no, no. That makes sense. You needed that 30 seconds. That 30 seconds wasn't on Raw, wasn't on SmackDown. It was on social media.
Yeah.
People in Philly lost their shit though.
I was aware of that.
Yeah.
But the other Joker that was with them, why the hell was the other dude there? He wasn't even from the Philadelphia Eagles, right? He was on a different team, right?
No, he's from the Philadelphia Eagles.
So both of them were from the
Is it
Eagles?
Center?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
she goes, you watch Mania at my house. Whatever, Bacon.
Another negative. Can we scrounge up anymore?
I think we already talked about it. The Uso brother versus brother match, it wasn't up to snuff as it should have been. And if there is something else, I'm probably just forgetting it.
Yeah.
I've got a question for this category that's gonna ruffle some feathers.
Hell yeah, let's do it, brother.
Go for it.
After Mania 40, what exactly did Jade Cargill learn in the ring?
What did she learn?
Yeah. What did she do that she hasn't already done on her entire stint in AEW?
Nothing. She got a badass entrance.
How
that she
long
hasn't had
was
before.
her? How long was she in the ring for?
I'll tell you what she learned.
Oh shit!
She learned that there's actually
a storm coming.
That there's actually audience members on the hard cam side.
Hey,
I
I actually sat on the hard camera side on AEW.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were you very lonely?
No, it's actually like
So did we.
I
The last
know.
time
We did.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking shit. I'm just talking shit. No, but for real, okay. Your point is you don't think she's developed any? I mean, it was one match, bro. I mean,
I think she looked a lot better in the Rumble than she did at Mania.
Okay.
By doing less.
Just to piggyback on that, who would have more matches this year, Omos or Cargill?
Oh shit!
Omos wrestled?
Well, right now, Cargill.
He was in the Battle Royal, right, on Friday?
Yeah.
I completely whiffed on that.
Hey,
I didn't see it. I didn't watch any of SmackDown. The only thing I saw for SmackDown before, that's the other reason why I hated the wetback match, because they had more wetback faces than heels, so why bring the Eagles?
Yeah.
Good point.
Dragon Lee was walking just fine up the ramp on Monday. Where was he on set?
It was cool to give the non-Latino and the Latino World Order his Mania spot, though, with the slingshot thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but we saw that on NXT already.
Yeah,
it was better on
Dude,
NXT.
the Andrade, like, superhuman spot.
The way was it the one where he piggybacked someone
yeah,
on top?
And then they did the double crossbody.
That was really cool.
Good.
That was good. Everything was good about that match except for the ending.
Yeah.
Which, again, isn't that bad unless you know the story or if you're an Eagles fan.
Honestly, that match was only done to bring in Andrade for Mania.
Okay.
Because you could have easily had that matches between Rey and Santos.
Okay.
I'll say it. I would have preferred Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
And that's not a slight against Andrade. Andrade's cool. I just prefer Dragon Lee.
That's fair.
Maybe next year.
That's fair.
Yeah. Shit, so this is a contender for Best Mania because we don't got a lot to shit on.
Turns out Zelina was the biggest heel in the match, says Arnold.
Dude, the moment on SmackDown when Andrade turned on Phantasma and that hug Selena gave him, the callback from the NXT run.
Yeah.
Man.
That was good.
That was sweet. Yeah,
That's good stuff.
That was really good. Yeah. So Mania is over with.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone watch Stand and Deliver?
Did I?
I didn't.
I did not.
I only had time.
Oh, that's right. I fell asleep.
In the moment, I was able to watch one match live from start to finish. I saw Trick versus Mello.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good match, borderline great. I feel like you could have given that match 10 more minutes and I would have been happier. Like the ending just felt like, that's it. This blood feud, this rivalry that's been going on as long as Cody and fucking Bloodline. It's gone on as long. This whole story of Trick and Mello, from coming up from nothing to Mello winning the Cruiserweight title, to Mello winning the US title, to Mello merging both the titles, to Mello winning the world title, to Mello losing the world title, to Trick coming up, to Mello and Trick finally at this spot. It's been almost 2 years. And the match we got, it left me wanting more, but kind of in a negative way, because I felt like there should have been more up front. There should have been another 5 or 7 minutes to the match they had, especially in Trick's hometown. Like, I felt like you could have stretched that out a little longer and it would have had more of an impact. Either way, if Melo was going to win or if Trick was going to win. I wanted more. And I don't know if they're going to wrestle this Tuesday in a steel cage, but first impressions, you know, I would have wanted them to leave a lot more out on the mat first time around.
I did not get to see that match. What happened that morning is Effie's Big Gay Brunch came on. So I started watching Effie's Big Gay Brunch because that was an hour before NXT started. I thought it was going to be done by the time NXT started, but it had like 2-hour overlap, right? So when NXT started, Porsche had Effie's Big Gay Brunch on her laptop, and then we had Stand and Deliver on the TV. So we were like this.
Couldn't focus on it.
And then I fell asleep. I wound up taking a nap. So I didn't get to see the end of Stand and Deliver. I didn't get to see the end of Big Gay Brunch. But I did get to see the match that Arnold is talking about in the live chat.
The triple threat?
The triple threat.
I need to go back and watch that because I feel like a lot of the consensus is that's the match.
It was really good. I got to see it. I agree with Arnold. That was the match of the night. He even says
for NXT.
Match. He says it's a match of the week contender. I agree. It could have been a match of the week contender if it wasn't for the fact that Mania's matches were so good. It was a banger, man. And the guy that I didn't know anything about, it was a good
Josh
Briggs. I didn't know anything about Briggs. I kind of like Josh Briggs.
Did you see his clothesline from hell?
Yeah,
it's solid.
Kind of like him.
Good. Yeah,
kind of like him.
And he's in the best shape he's been since he's been on NXT TV.
If NXT had their own category, this would be match of the year candidate for them so far. It says Arnold.
Arnold, how was the Roxy Valkyria match? That's the other match that I really, really wanted to see. I know War Dogs lost the title to Frazier and Axiom.
But they lost them on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, they beat them. They beat Axiom. They lost the belts on Tuesday. But that was the other match besides the triple threat where I was like, yeah, I really want to get.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch Stand and Deliver.
There's a lot of fucking wrestling this weekend.
Let me give a little bit of flowers to Effie's Big Gay Brunch if we're done talking about that. Again, I didn't get to see all of it. I saw, about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes of it. That was the gayest shit I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of gay shit in my day. The opening match was a fatal 4-way with 4 little twinks. I don't know who the hell they were, but they were really good. I would have thought like, okay, this is just indie quality. No, they were fucking really
cruiserweight.
Yeah, cruiserweight.
Was there a skinny white kid that looked like he was on meth?
Yes,
Jordan Oliver.
Maybe
he's fucking good. He looks like he just came from the fucking street. Yeah. He was an Injustice for MLW. He's fucking good.
There was a kid named Osamos or something like that. Onamos or something, Asian kid. Oh God, he was great, man. He was flying around the ring, and then there was another kid who kind of looked like, if Sunny Kiss was the second evolution of Charmander, this was Charmander. What is Charmander? What's the second one?
You lost me at Sunny Kiss, Charmander.
Right. Well, the Charizard would be DOD Madden. Mason D. Madden, sorry. But Charmeleon, yeah, okay. So Charmander is this kid, Sunny Kiss is Charmeleon, and then Charizard is Mason D. Madden. But yeah, that kid was really good. So I can't take credit for that comparison. But Portia came up with that comparison, and she tweeted it, and everybody that was involved liked it. But yeah, no, that was a really good match, that 4-way. And then there was a tag match with the tag team of Bussy. Which is
it's not
Bussy, whatever. Yeah. That's what's her name? Alley Cat, and Effie. Alley Catch? Is that what it is? Alley Catch and Effie versus Fandango and Tyler Breeze. That match was great. Somehow we got Fandango and Tyler Breeze in 69 positions twice, and that they had to sell that. And we got to see Effie's ass apparently a couple of times. So yeah, it was the gayest shit I've ever seen. It was the gayest shit I've ever seen, but it was fun. It was fun.
You recommend it for next year?
Yes. Yeah.
There was one match I did see from Indies.
Bloodsport. Was it Nemeth and Speedball?
No, it was actually Baszler and
Slamovich.
Yes.
Masha Slamovich.
How'd that go?
Yes. Oh.
Baszler won by submission after like 8 minutes.
by knockout.
Yeah.
She literally had her in I think it's like the reverse cloverleaf, and then the other one was trying to get away from it, so Baszler just started stumping her head, and it was knockout right there.
Wow, nice.
I think Speedball did that last year to somebody, and that's how we got him knocked out.
Nemeth, that one, the highlights on that one I ended up seeing after. Dude, the way he ended up going for Speedball's feet, and then in the corner part where he had to kind of like, I'm guessing he had him like perched up on a turnbuckle, and he ended up doing the was it the zigzag?
Oh, okay.
Yes. That was, I'm like, those are matches to watch.
Okay. All right.
I'm always interested with Bloodsport when it comes down. Josh Barnett doing the Pele kick, but seeing him as a big guy doing it, he caught that guy like right dead center. You just see him.
Nice.
But yeah.
Anything from Raw and SmackDown post WrestleMania besides that we haven't already talked about? Did you like the NXT matches on Raw?
I did. Yeah, it was cool seeing Roxy on there. And it was cool seeing Ilya. Ilya versus Shinsuke was actually really good.
I wanted that to go longer.
Yeah. Yes, I will agree there. That should have been longer. Yeah, that should have been. That's what she said.
The only nit to pick was if that was Triple H's booking from Triple H's era, from a guy that Triple H liked, former NXT champ. I was not expecting a squash-ish kind of match against Nakamura. I was expecting that to go through a commercial break.
Fair.
Yeah, Roxy and who'd she fight?
Indy.
That could have went the way it went, but I was expecting that match with Naka to go a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I was expecting more people to show up.
Hell, I was expecting Naka to beat him, and then you could have run off a storyline there.
I think what there was a lot of people that were disappointed with this year's Raw after Mania, and I think the sentiment that you just said is part of it. Oh, I expected more surprises, more people to show up, right? Well, you have these two NXT people, but the thing is, they weren't implied call-ups. They were implied exhibitions, showcases. And I think that's where the disconnect was. But then John Cena showing up, that's cool, but it's Cena. So it's like, okay, that's not really a surprise, but it was cool. It was fun. It was funny of having him teaming with R-Truth. But I think the way that they introduced Truth, or they introduced Cena, the way Truth did it, it was too on the nose. They gave it away too much, where they're like, oh, you mean little Jimmy? When he said, as somebody you can't see, it's like, nobody thought it was little Jimmy, guys. Of course, we all thought it was Cena. So it wasn't a surprise. Was it cool? Was it funny? Like R-Truth does? Yes. But it wasn't like that, oh my God, wow factor, right? We never got the, oh my God, wow factor. But if you look at that, okay, those were a couple of surprises, but then also the stuff with The Rock, that promo was weird. It just felt strange. It wasn't bad. It just felt like, I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
That took up the first 40 minutes of a commercial-free Raw.
You're right. Maybe it went too long, but maybe it went too long because of the audience. But it's still, I'm not sure what the substance was on it. If we look back on this 6 months from now, like, oh, that's what The Rock meant. Oh, that's what The Rock handed him. Oh, this was very foretelling. Oh, shit. Maybe we'll appreciate this promo a little bit more 6 months from now. But right now, I don't.
Right now, we're in the same state that we were when Shane mentioned a box to Vince.
Yeah, and that didn't really fall very well at all. That turned out really bad. Yeah. But it was because the rumor on that was that they just said, oh, we're going to figure out what's in the box later. We're just going to come up with the storyline that there's something in the box.
Arnold, I missed that part. What exactly was it that The Rock gave Cody if Cody said it on Friday? Because I saw the promo, but I missed it.
I'm guessing. I know I haven't seen the Cody one, but people were speculating that it was part of the Lade.
Part of the what?
Of the Lade. Part of Roman's necklace.
The watch.
No, part of his necklace, part of the jalapenos.
Yeah, but it can't be part of the watch because the watch was given from Bruce Pritchard and Triple H
to Cody
To
already.
The watch that Cody gifted to 4 people in the main event of night 1.
Oh.
And Cody said that? Because I don't think I caught that on Friday.
I didn't catch that on Friday either. I thought it was like a used ticket stuff to Black Adam or something.
I know that he did give out watches because I know I saw a picture of Roman wearing it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he gave it to The Rock too.
And why would The Rock give it back to him?
That's what I was going to say. Okay,
Cody, now Cody's got 2. On one.
What's the significance? Like, I mean, I get that there's some emotional significance between them two, but what's the actual storyline significance of that? I don't know. I don't. I was confused by it, but confused in a good way. Like I'm wanting more, but it felt almost like you're watching this badass TV show and they have on episode 4 some sort of weird filler episode and you're like, this episode's dumb. I don't get it, whatever. But then like when you hit the season finale, you're like, oh, that's what they were talking about.
So I understood when The Rock said, don't break my heart again. Because he grew up with Dusty fans, so he understood that Cody had to finish his story. But for Cody to finish his story, his bloodline brethren had to lose, and that broke his heart. Yeah. So that's what I'm assuming. That's where he said, "Don't break my heart again."
He said, Arnold said, he said it in the ring during his promo last night.
I have it videotaped. I'm gonna rewatch it and see if I can.
He says, "Go back and rewatch it." That it was a WrestleMania 40 Rolex, not the same Rolex that he was gifted at the press conference or before the press conference after Mania. Yeah. This is a different Rolex.
Because there's a Rolex that Dusty pawned off to pay for Cody's acting school, and they wound up Triple H wound up finding the exact same watch allegedly and gifting it to Cody.
Yeah. You know that's gonna be the next episodes of WWE Treasure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a really good example, Arnold. Remember at the end of season 1 of Walking Dead when Dr. Jenner whispers something to Rick Grimes? Yeah. Rick finally tells the group what he tells him, and it's at the end of season 2. The fact that they were all infected already. Yeah. At that, I was like, what the fuck? Who is he whispering?
That's what that was?
That's what that was.
I thought it was, hey, yo, your bitch is pregnant.
No, it was everybody's infected. There's not a cure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Jenner told that to Rick Grimes at the end of season 1. We didn't find out about it till the end of season 2. But for an entire season, we're like, well, that's dumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
So going back to the surprise.
I need to rewatch Walking Dead.
Shit,
you only need to watch like up until Glenn dies.
And apparently the series finale of this last show, because they finally showed the episode where Michonne and Rick meet up with their kids.
The lost ones.
The ones that live.
Yeah, the ones that live.
The lost ones. The ones that live. Whatever. Yeah. The last of them. Whatever.
Yeah.
So going back to the surprise.
Wrong franchise. You don't want to get sued.
What do you think about Julia finally showing up?
Oh yeah, Julia did make her debut.
I'm indifferent because I haven't seen any. I think I've only seen one match. I saw Julia and Nightingale. That's the only match of her I've seen.
I want to see more of her, so I'm interested, but I don't know too much about her. I'm interested. I want to see it.
There's a couple of matches on YouTube.
For you, since you're the one that's a huge New Japan person, a Stardom person.
Yeah.
What do you think of her going to WWE instead of AEW?
Right now, the way that AEW is, she made a good decision.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping that she's gonna get the Oscar run, and she has the material to hold that up. She does have more of the exposure compared to AEW, but her character fits very well in that environment.
Okay.
So I'm expecting high things from her there.
Cool.
But match-wise, you're going to be surprised when you see her go. You're going to want to see her and Asuka go at it.
So her and Asuka, so what do you think of like other dream matches that we could see with her that will be really good bangers?
Julia Baszler, her and Asuka, her and Io, because there's history there. The previous group.
Yeah.
Her and
what about Lyra? Valkyria. Do you think
it would be a good callback?
Okay.
For them, especially the Princess tournaments, the equivalent for their G1 for them. Those are the matches you could probably end up watching on YouTube.
Okay.
And those are real good.
I was impressed with their match with Nightingale, but again, that's only one. Like I need more to make a fair opinion on somebody. But yeah, I'm curious. Yeah.
Now going to the other surprise, Tama Tonga.
Oh yeah,
That's the way to do it. I don't care that a lot of people didn't know who he was. You're starting to get to know him from scratch when this storyline, and this is the best way to
I saw that on social media last night. People were saying, "Oh, people in the arena didn't know who he was."
So
they had to bleep out "Holy shit" chants.
Yeah,
they knew who he was.
Enough people knew that they had to bleep it out.
They did. So no, he was fine. And even if you don't know who he was, you could kind of tell he's part of the bloodline.
I did have that brief moment of when he attacked, and right before Corey spoke, I was like, please don't change his name. Please don't change his name. As soon as he said, oh shit, who's that? Oh my God, it's Tama Tonga. Oh shit.
The guys that have been wrecking shop in Japan the last few years was all I needed.
Yep.
He's a somebody that he's brought in as a somebody that was, so that all of you will know that he will become a someone that is.
So now that they established that with Tama,
I'm ready for fucking the wolf.
No, I'm ready whenever Tangaloa's contract comes up. And his brother, the little brother.
Redo God?
Yes. Because if you want to go that tribal, that Samoan lineage, you have that story there of you're not part of the family. Well, the Tongans are worse than the Samoans.
Yeah.
Right.
Trust me, I learned that through my trip.
All right, this is perfect because this kind of leads me into the same cinematic stuff that I was talking about before, where it's like, oh, this gang warfare kind of stuff. Remember halfway through, or maybe like on like the last 2/3 of Breaking Bad, when all the other Mexican cartels that kind of had their unwritten rules and all this and that started breaking down, and the white guys took over, the kind of quasi neo-Nazis, but they didn't say they were neo-Nazis, kind of took over, and they were just fucking crazy. That, you know, the one kid or the one guy like shot the kid. They're like, hey, we don't kill kids. What the fuck? And he was like, nope, he's a witness. Bam. It's like, oh God, these white guys are nuts. That might be what's happening here with the bloodline. It's like, okay, cool. We have our unwritten rules. We have our unspoken things. Yeah, we cheat. Yeah, we're a criminal organization. But, oh shit, the Tongans are here? Oh no. You know, like,
I've never seen an episode of Breaking Bad.
Solo's taking over. Oh no, this is bad. You know, so I'm kind of wanting to see the second evolution of bloodline.
Like, if you really want to go and search through like history and stuff, you could even go as back as the Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman said to his daughter, like, you do this, but if somebody has a problem, you're sitting two seats away from Haku.
Yeah.
So, like, we know as soon as he said that, people started chanting. Haku was there. It's like we know all the stories about him. You know.
I still love the one that Jericho told on the Steve Austin podcast within the airport. Hey, what are you doing? Leave him alone. And Jericho and Haku were back to back fighting off police officers in Puerto Rico. And he's like, did you know that the airports have a jail? I know. We were in one. Fucking Haku. I'm under the firm belief that Haku will never die.
He's 174.
Yeah.
And he still kicked your ass.
Yeah. He's a bad motherfucker.
I think he's the true murder grandpa.
Yeah.
Celestial.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that it for WWE?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you want to talk about interview
WWE
stuff.
Wait, interview stuff? What do you mean?
The whole Punk thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was just about to say, was WrestleMania weekend overshadowed by CM Punk burying AEW?
No.
Burying AEW.
No,
he didn't need the Undertaker gear. He buried AEW.
Did we make the main event match of the year? Yes, we did.
Yes.
That was the first thing we talked about.
Yeah.
He used Cena's mythical shovel.
Yeah. I don't know, Triple H's shovel, maybe. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I did not watch the interview. I wanted to, but then when I saw that it was 2 hours, I was like, I'll do this later, and never came.
I've heard
because
clips.
it's 2 hours.
There's a lot of clips,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it.
Which, speaking to on that particular interview, gave me he pulled back the curtain. They made me understand the Stone Cold missing spot, because according to the interview and CM Punk's point of view, when we started hearing all those little comments drop of best in the world, Nakamura using the GTS, Punk wasn't even involved with WWE at the time. There weren't no conversations, nothing. Conversation for Punk coming in happened that week of Survivor Series, right before Thanksgiving. So that made me understand that they were probably trying to do that with Austin too, because they kept dropping hints and probably expected like that week of hey, let's make a deal, kind of thing. But when it comes to the interview of that, is he verbatim he said what happened, because somebody made the clip of his audio side by side with the actual tape of AEW, and he did bury them, but at the same time, it made me justify Jack Perry on that aspect.
Justify Jack Perry?
Yes.
Okay. How so?
As a vet, even in like, let's say your position, you got subordinates under you, or you got people that you work with that still see you like.
Okay, only because I've been around for a long time, but yeah.
So if somebody young snaps at you, would you snap back in your position?
Probably not. I'd be like, okay,
because of the position, whatever. I have to.
Like,
I have to take the higher road.
You'd have, you have to take the higher road.
I'd have to be the bigger man.
Yeah,
even if I end up retiring as fucking Andre the Giant, I've been the bigger man the whole fucking time because that was my position.
Yeah, like so whatever, bro.
That's my point of view when it comes to this altercation.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Being the vet, Punk being somebody that they were building a show around him, and he does say it in the interview, and him taking that road of like, come on, you're supposed to be setting the example, not fucking.
The blame doesn't go to Jack Perry. The blame goes to Tony Khan for letting all that shit happen.
Exactly.
That's for not tying the loose ends. The last time with Hangman and the Bucks and fucking Omega, and just letting it be that Tony Khan's gonna let you do whatever you want. I think the line that was dropped was I think the mic drop for me was when you're worried about having 5-star matches and the building is a quarter full, we're not in the same business. I'm in the business selling tickets, selling pay-per-views. You guys are just having fun. Tony's a nice guy. He's not a boss. That pretty much did it for that. You know what that did for me? It made it easier for me to watch AEW, because for this day forward, will never consider AEW competition to WWE.
Damn!
They could sell out All In once in London. Congratulations. That's awesome. Let's see you do it again. And then the next week, go to a half-empty Chicago. That used to be your market. You know? You're struggling to sell 4,000, 5,000 seats in a place where WWE has 16 consecutive television sellouts. Yeah, no.
And I think that's why, like we were talking earlier, I've started not watching a lot of AEW now. I don't know, ever since that happened, and then there's no sense of attraction anymore.
So they're starting to drop the WCW tagline. They're saying we're the best wrestle. That's cool. That's awesome. We've got a lot of match of the year candidates and contenders, and we like going to AEW to watch it live. Our match of the year that we picked for WWE, which could end up being our match of the year completely, is because they didn't just have wrestling.
Yeah.
Once AEW figures that out, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
But as long as Tony Khan's got money, that's going to keep going. And I put it in the same category as TNA, as New Japan.
Yep.
GCW. You know, it's like, it's there. It's cool. I'm going to watch it. You know, it might even still be my priority watching, because unless Netflix says we're narrowing Raw back down to 2 hours, that's still too fucking long to watch. And if they're not going to have commercials during Netflix, 3 hours commercial free every Monday, that's a Titanic a week. And that's just Raw. So AEW Dynamite might still be my go-to, but I know damn well this is my sleep around. This isn't my commitment. That's what that is. That's what that is. That's all AEW is. You might see me in Seattle for Wrestle Dream.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think AEW is kind of, they were at a weak point going into WrestleMania weekend because of they lost their biggest star, MJF. MJF being gone, being nowhere to be seen, heard of, whatever. That's hurting AEW so bad, and it's also hurting MJF a little bit because people are forgetting about him.
And it's not just that. Who's their second biggest star?
Omega.
Adam Cole.
Omega.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay, Omega.
And he's out through injury.
And
Who's their third biggest star?
Adam Cole.
No,
What?
Jon Moxley.
Oh, okay.
But he's out winning titles in other companies.
Okay.
Or wrestling in other countries.
Well, who's their fourth biggest star?
Probably Adam
Cole.
Page.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah.
And he's been absent the last couple of weeks on TV too.
Okay, well,
ever since we all started cheering for the guy that broke in his house and cut a promo on his baby and made and hung him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who's their fifth biggest guy? Well, Adam Cole.
Well, you can't say Adam Cole's the biggest guy when he can't even ride all the roller coasters.
Oh, that's right. So, okay. Well, damn, it's starting to sound like AEW's main event is like the Astros pitching staff. Missing, just gone. Goddamn.
One diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
That's doing no hitters.
Yeah. 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 And that's Swerve.
Yeah.
Because
I swerve on the mound. Because I swerve all around. Yeah.
God damn. So yeah, they've already were in a weekend.
God damn, the Rockets and the Astros.
Yeah. They're already.
But the Texans.
Yay!
For now.
For now. Yeah.
Hey, they
until that one guy we just signed gets arrested.
The Texans are great in the mid-season, in the off-season. Texans are great in the off-season.
On paper.
We're 5 years away from being 5 years away.
Yes.
We'll say that again in 5 years.
So they were in a very weak position going into what happened at Mania. Mania was fucking great. We've had this debate, wherever you stand on this debate, we had the debate of whether or not this was the greatest WrestleMania of all time. The fact that we're having that conversation, you are already weakened, that right there should be like enough to really just fucking ruin your day. But then you add on the Punk stuff. Then you add on your knee-jerk reaction. Not only was the knee-jerk reaction, let's air the footage, but also the stuff with Ospreay. Ospreay was told to cut this promo to respond to Triple H, which I wouldn't have had a problem if this was any other time and this was just a one-off thing and we weren't, and I believe that was Ospreay just jabbing back. Okay, cool. But you add all these factors together, it was a little cringy. I didn't need Ospreay defending how he is still grinding when you clearly have a smaller commitment as far as time goes in AEW. Clearly, there, I get it, bruv. You're flying back and forth between your homeland and the States every week, but bro, that's a little bit different than what they're doing in WWE. So don't say my grind is different because I have a family. Your grind is different because you're not doing as much. I love you. You are the best wrestler in the world.
He has a grind. He doesn't have the grind.
Triple H has you on this one. Don't argue against it because that's a losing argument, bruv.
So, devil's advocate.
And Arnold's right in the comments. He said Meltzer is not helping with all of this. By the way,
devil's advocate. Fuck Meltzer. But
exactly, fuck Meltzer. He's not helping.
I did like the twist that the drama in All Out caused the Bucks to lose to FTR. I like that twist of the promo because they couldn't. Because they couldn't focus as being a wrestler because they were too busy being EVPs. I was not expecting that, and regardless of how stupid that made Tony Khan look, for me it saved the Bucks from complete stupidity.
It fits the story.
It fits the story of them being stupid EVPs. So for that, I'll let that part of the purpose slide. Everything else was dumb.
Right. Even though that decision justifies what Punk said in that scrum.
Exactly. So Punk's truthful validity is actually making the Young Bucks stupid characters more believable.
Yeah.
So I'll give that to them.
And here's the other part about it. With the airing of this footage, what was on social media was, hey, they're going to air the footage.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, check out the footage. They're going to air it. But they dressed up this as part of a storyline for a tag team match, and it made absolutely no sense. It was so fucking flimsy. I've seen pornos before that had better storyline leading to the fucking than this promo had leading to the airing of the fucking footage. It was such a flimsy ass reason to show this. Well, because we're gonna it was terrible.
Those softcore porns they used to show on USA in the 90s. Yeah. I was totally expecting like footage of the Young Bucks in the locker room stretching and then having to stop to leave the broom. And that would have been it.
Be like the McMahon one.
Yeah.
Where's that son of a bitch?
Yeah, something that was not related to Punk completely.
Yeah.
And the other devil's advocate is once Ospreay was talking about Bryan Danielson, that was the best promo I've seen Ospreay cut. The Triple H stuff was so low-hanging fruit because everyone's used it for the past 20 years. Keep using it. Look where he's at now.
Yep.
You want to really get back at him? Make $5 million a year. And that's how you get back at him. Get higher rate. Right. Have your segments get higher ratings than Raw or SmackDown. That's how you get back at him. Punching about him fucking the boss's daughter, man. That's an old fight. That's a Mayweather fight. How many Mayweather fights and they've all been the same?
He's not even fucking the boss's daughter. He's fucking the boss, who's also his wife. What's so bad about fucking your wife?
More importantly, he's helping getting his old boss get fucked. So yeah, the TNA at its best was always when it's focusing on itself and not trying to do something else.
Right.
AEW has been good. Yeah. ROH. AEW has been good when it was just focusing on its own stuff instead of having the independent equivalent of a Samoan and a Rhodes main event a show because the other competition just did it.
Yeah, that was that. That may have been coincidence, but it was a bad coincidence. Yeah.
No, that match has been advertised for 9 weeks for Mania. They knew what they were doing.
Okay.
AEW knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's the same complaint that I had with Rhodes. Was it Rhodes and Swerve on pay-per-view on television? Rhodes has not been built as even a mid-card character. Why is Rhodes, Dustin, wrestling 18 minutes against a guy that is being established as your main guy? He should have beaten Dustin in 4 minutes flat. Joe should have choked him out in like 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Dustin Rhodes on AEW television, what value does he have? Nothing. He's just making your champion and your contenders look bad by lasting longer than he should be.
Arnold. Dave Meltzer said that Miss Krabappel and Principal Skinner were in the closet making babies, and he saw one of the babies, and the baby looked at him. Yeah. I think Tony let the pressure of the competition, the pressure of the injuries, and CM Punk breaking his NDA, which I still don't think Punk should have done that.
I think there's no NDA for last summer. There's an NDA for the year before with the Bucks and Omega.
Well, either way, he let all that get under his skin too much, and he knee-jerk reaction too hard
by firing people after he said he would never fire anyone.
Yeah.
Budget cuts. Where have you heard that before?
But yeah, he fired off too hard, too emotionally, not thinking with his head, thinking with his heart too much because he was too butthurt. Let's fucking air the footage. Let's hit back at Triple H. Let's do this and that. And bro, you didn't need to do that.
The only saving grace, I can't believe I'm saying this. The only saving grace is the return of Jack Perry.
Okay.
He got a fucking reaction last night at Windy City Riot. They had New Japan had a pay-per-view in Chicago.
Right.
Jack Perry had the Chicago flag, and then when he put the flag down, it had Crimea River on the back of his jacket. He was getting reactions. He had never gotten that kind of reaction, even when they were singing that old school 80s song when he was still Jungle Boy.
And even during the match.
This could be the best thing that happened to Jack Perry's career. Yeah. The loser in everything is Tony Khan. Jack Perry still has a chance to be a winner out of all this.
His shirt in his website, the scapegoat shirt,
Mhm.
highest selling. New Japan shirt of
Crimea River, that gothic shirt,
highest selling.
Yeah.
Last night's event in Chicago, him coming out to that.
One of the loudest reactions he got.
During the match, half of the crowd, you got choked out. The other half,
no, he didn't. This is good.
He didn't. This is good. He did not get choked out. Why? Because Samoa Joe saved him.
Yeah.
And Samoa Joe came out a winner because they're like, hey, you know what? Thanks, Samoa Joe. Here's the world title.
Yeah. And then the way he ended the match.
And Chris Hero came out as a hero because like, oh, not again.
Yeah. He was everybody just like, oh, come on.
He's like, fuck.
And then Tony Schiavone, oh God.
I felt bad for Schiavone. They did the
side by side.
Yeah.
Bash at the beach and him.
How much of that was him selling and how much of that was, man, I'd have more fun commentating Braves games. Man.
Chris Hero's reaction was, oh no. Thanks, Arnold.
That's the one line where he was. Yeah. Even the broken clock is right twice a day.
There you go.
That's Arnold. It only takes one nut bust to get him pregnant, right?
That's all it takes. He's had at least 3.
Is that it?
That's it if we don't want to go into previewing stuff for Dynasty, but we should save that for Thursday.
Yeah.
Correct?
I will say one last thing because it happened. Match of the week candidate, Ospreay versus Willie Hobbs. That shit was fire.
Yeah.
I would label it just as good as him and Kyle Fletcher.
Damn.
That's how much I like that Ospreay match because Ospreay and Takeshita, Ken and Ryu. Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, Ken and Akuma. Ospreay and Billy Hobbs was fucking Zangief. Like it was a completely different match. You saw like how I noticed when Will Ospreay like started ditching the heavyweight stuff and started doing the flippy dippies again for the last like 12 or 14 months. Mm-hmm. He started doing some of the heavyweight stuff again. Like he was actually standing up to Hobbs and Hobbs like no selling some of his chops and like going back and forth. And after the match when Hobbs lost, he wanted Ospreay like he wanted to keep going.
Was this on Collision?
Dynamite.
It
was good. Yeah, Callis on commentary, putting both the guys over and trying to explain to Tony Schiavone is like, we fight each other in practice, and then on the field we have people that we're against. So this is our practice. This is making everyone better, so that when we have opponents from the outside, if we're aiming for championships, if we're aiming for groups like the Blackpool Combat Club, our guys are just as ready. All of them are ready because we've been training against each other, and you're just seeing it in TV. That's the only difference. So putting over why we're having Hobbs versus fucking Ospreay or Ospreay versus Fletcher. Dude, yeah, that was good. That was really good. Will it beat what we have on our match of the year? No, not for AEW, but it was damn good.
All right,
really good. Ospreay and Shibata, we might have mentioned that 2 weeks ago. Ospreay versus Shibata was pretty good too. But yeah, now just put it all behind. Like it felt so awkward hearing Edge the week before cutting the promo about how much fun AEW is to be and he can have all these reactions he wants and we should put it all behind. We should put it all behind us. Yeah. And then the next week, guess what?
Here's all the drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Awful.
So there was one thing I did want to bring up from New Japan.
Yes, please.
Today.
Hector San.
Well, here's another thing. Well, speaking about that, you remember in TNA there was a match. I think it was Austin Aries versus Johnny Mundo or Johnny TNA.
Johnny Impact.
Mm-hmm. Where he dropped the title in Canada and Aries no sold.
Yes, I remember that.
Riddle did that last night.
Really?
Oh, I've seen some memes online like that. Get good riddance, Matt Riddle, but I didn't know why.
Like, wait, what did he do?
Zack Sabre Jr. beat him on a crucifix pin.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the whole match, he was working his limbs. You know how Sabre does. Mm-hmm. As soon as the pin happened, Riddle gets up, shrugs it off, walks out, dancing.
Oh, really?
Thing.
Huh.
And it kind of was like a curtain call because he turned back, kind of bowed, and then left. So I'm guessing they might have ended up on bad terms.
I might have to go back and watch that.
Okay.
I tried watching it this morning, today. On paper, Ali versus Hiromu Takahashi, should have been a fucking banger. I've been out of the loop, so I don't know what the fuck this new cat with the 8-pack abs or whatever.
Oh, you remember his old one?
Yeah.
Right? Well, that one.
But
got
then
tore
like
off.
Ali was talking to it, and it was like a third person kind of thing that was in the match. It just completely felt shoehorned into what might have been an actual decent match. Ali did he got kicked off the turnbuckle and he wound up doing a moonsault to try to save himself. He did a moonsault over the cameraman.
Oh,
so like
wow.
then you see the shot of him actually going over. There was some good stuff in it, but I just felt like the comedy stuff was Mustafa Ali's character, or he's running to be the president of wrestling or whatever for this. He's doing a campaign.
Like Abel Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
That humor mixed in with Hiromu's humor with the cat didn't mesh for me at all.
Mm-hmm.
They could have saved that for later. Naito and Moxley. I tried to get into it. 5 minutes in, they're already outside the ring doing street fight shit. And then I fast forward some, and half of Moxley's face is covered by Tampax, is sponsored by Tampax because he's bleeding again. I was like, oh, fuck. He wound up winning.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I would say match of the night was fucking Nick Nemeth and Ishii. That shit was fucking good. That shit was, dude, my favorite part. So Ishii hit Nemeth with something real hard, and then Nemeth kicked out at 1 and started hulking up. And then a couple of moves happened, and then Nemeth hit him with the super kick. They're calling it the 101, the the highway on California. And then, so he covers him, and Ishii kicks out at 1, and he stands up just to hulk up a little bit, and then he falls back on his ass. Because he's fucking old. But that was a damn good match. Ishii and Nemeth was fucking good.
Can I ask you guys something? Murder Grandpa versus Maki Ito. Did you guys watch that at all?
No.
I wanted to have seen that match, but I don't know anybody who watched it. But I know online people were saying it was cool. Neither one of you?
Suzuki obviously beat him, and then he dragged her back to the locker room, like by her arm, just dragged her back. I don't know.
Okay,
but in effect, he's like the princess champion now.
Now he's a princess.
It's not the first time I've seen Minoru beat up
women.
Yeah. The last person I remember seeing that was Minoru beating up Asuka.
Yeah.
And that was good.
All right.
But that goes back to a whole conversation you wanted me to have.
Okay. Yeah.
The fact that I'm actually pulling away from New Japan now.
Yes,
Why?
I cannot believe this. Hector-san.
Because of the transition.
What transition?
The young talent, the young lions?
No, the management of it.
Oh, what's his face left, and he's starting his own women's division.
Yeah, well, that's Stardom. That's the Stardom part. But when it comes to New Japan, now that Tanahashi is
in charge,
the stories are not there anymore. Like, we have House of Torture, for example. They're out there doing stuff in was it Noah? You have Naito. Again, we're getting the repetition of Naito when he had the belts.
What happened with Five Guys?
They got separated.
Oh. What happened with Bullet Club with
one of them
with the kid?
One of them retired.
Finley. Oh, that's right. I heard one of the guys retired. He had it fucked up his neck
after the neck break. Yeah. Gabriel Kidd had a good match with what's it called?
I think Gabriel Kidd's the guy that I sold my New Japan ticket when I saw them in Long Beach, because the next day he was going to go to the dojo with Shibata, and he had actually bought the ticket for me on eBay. I think that might have been him.
He trained there.
So is Bullet Club no more now?
It's there, but it's just like their War Dogs. The tag team part is not there anymore. One of them had to retire.
Mm-hmm. So there's still regular Bullet Club in Japan, then Bullet Club Gold, and then ABC in TNA, right? Yeah. Okay.
But there's no story bringing it back in
to
the promotion.
That might have changed last night, because I sent it in the group chat. Broken clocks right twice a day. The promo Moxley cut that he not only is he's not afraid of the talent, the established talent that's been here, because he's had bangers with all of them, but he sees young lions in the back that are starving, that are hungry for a break. And now that I'm the champion, I'm running shit now, and I'm choosing my first opponent. And it's time for Shota to graduate.
And Rena came in,
and I'm like complete because of the story that I'm aware of. I'm completely invested for Shota Umino against Moxley. But then Narita comes out, beats the shit out of Moxley.
And he's I'm next.
Yeah, I'm next challenger, and his English is fucking butt awful. But Umino came out for the save and saved Moxley, and then Moxley told him, "Congratulations, Narita, you graduated from a young boy to a dead man." So if there's a guy in America that can try to put over Japan, let alone put over the next generation of guys, because other than Sonata, who they've tried, and apparently they didn't think he succeeded because they put the belt right back to fucking Naito. You have Narita, you've got Shota Umino, you've got that Tsuji kid
from Los Ingobernables.
From Los Ingobernables.
Well, those right there, those three that you mentioned, those are the
new pillars?
The new pillars, the new three musketeers. That's what they're christening over there.
Mm-hmm.
So
it sounds like you are a fan of this. Why are you pulling back?
The fact that
they're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything with
well, maybe now they are. Up to this point, you might have thought they didn't do nothing. And I mean,
like mentor wise, like before this version of the Three Musketeers, the previous one was Nakamura, Shibata, and Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
Before them, you had the original ones.
Well, even after them, you still had Omega, and you had Ibushi, and you had Sonata.
Yeah.
And now two of them are gone. Well, one's sick, one's broke, and they don't think he's good enough, and they want to put the belt back on the old timer again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's for me the story's not there. I feel like they're not doing anything with them. But now that my interest might peak now.
I still think part of the problem is they oversaturated their own market. Like, I don't know enough wrestling fans that were clamoring for an NWA, a New Japan US version. So it's like the New Japan strong, but it's all I don't want to be an asshole. It's all the scrubs and second tier and all the leftovers from other American promotions. But you didn't see Naito every week. You didn't see Okada every week. You didn't see Tanahashi every week. You didn't see Takahashi every week. You didn't see fucking Suzuki every week. It was just like almost like TNA levels of like mid-carders, nothing but mid-carders, and you get to see if any one of them actually broke out and did something. If it was New Japan, the main roster, Guerrillas of Destiny, fucking you see weekly shows or bi-weekly shows on an actual television program that Americans can see with actual American commentary, that would have been a lot better for them than having to do a watered-down second version to tour in the U.S. because part of it was also COVID. They couldn't fucking send the Japanese back and forth all the time. Yeah. But now that that's not a problem, now that Donald Trump thinks COVID's dead, then just fucking have everyone go everywhere, you know?
And if you really pay attention to the whole New Japan Strong, the talent that they were sending over was the talent that AEW got.
Yeah.
So that was a transition point, I'm guessing.
Okay.
But
who's really made it in the US version besides Fred Rosser? Anybody else actually get actual elevation to their career that they wouldn't have gotten had they been wherever they were?
It's Fred Rosser, Gabriel Kidd.
Fred Rosser was a short guy from Primetime Players.
Oh.
Yeah. Not the one that slid under the ring at
the
other one. He's actually a whole lot better.
And he's a teacher now for the dojo.
Yeah.
Oh. He's right next to Shibata.
Oh. The US and the LA dojo. Yeah. But who else has been elevated?
Gabriel Kidd was the only one. And he joined Bullet Club.
But he was New Japan homegrown. Ish.
No.
He didn't. Did he wrestle independently in the US?
Yeah, Red Pro.
No, that's not US. That's fucking
Europe, but it's still part of that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The West.
Yeah.
But other than that, for me, it's just getting watered down. And
then AEW took the good ones. Yeah.
Osprey and
Osprey, Okada, Jay White, technically Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
But he got so fucked up in that New Year's match, he broke both his ankles.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ibushi's
and he's a shell of what he used to be.
Yes.
Omega's intestines are Brock Lesnar's. Like he's gotten surgery and he's still on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what? Yeah, right now this feels like the new era of WWE where you start pushing Brett and Shawn, the younger guys, the lighter guys, the more agile guys. I think this is the part where New Japan either syncs with Tsuji, with Shota, with Naruto, and I'd add fucking Sonata in that mix because he's like that in between.
Yeah.
If they succeed with those four as the next crop of guys, or Tony Khan buys the whole fucking shit.
And then they'll still sink.
And they'll sink on one big ship instead of two little ships.
They'll probably merge with All Japan
Mm-hmm.
for them. But, yeah.
All right. Wow.
Sour note.
Damn, that is a sour note. Well, let's go out on a better note. Apparently, UPW is coming back. We don't have a date yet, but boss Bart Harris has been putting out little things on Facebook saying, "Oh,
you
yeah,
find more
UPW."
sponsors?
I don't know. I don't know the story. All I know is that it's coming back. Ransom put up a thing, said, "Oh, you thought we were done?"
Oh, there's a video there. So.
Yeah, apparently we're not done. So all I know is that when they come back, don't know the date yet. When they come back, your boy's got a ring announcing and/or commentary gig with UPW. So it's
and
coming
if you
back.
don't, then you were definitely the problem.
Then I'm probably definitely the problem. What is interesting is that Riot is still running. So that was the promotion that kind of filled the vacuum once UPW left. But I don't know how we're going to have both now. But Riot is still running. The next date is going to be Friday. Yes, Friday, June the 7th in Santa Fe, Texas at the Volunteer Fire Department. So make sure you come out to that. So, yeah.
Invasion angle. That's
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Some sort of collision or something. I don't get it.
You want to get sued?
Oh, sorry.
It's twice.
Sorry.
Where's all this money that you just want to get sued?
I'll have to sell a few of these. Yeah. This ain't worth shit, man. This is like
Anything else?
no, man. I'm good.
Thursday? Do it again on Thursday.
Thursday, we're gonna preview AEW Dynasty.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, we done